Hello guys. I just woke up just about um making this video on how to talk to people. And I found my candy. I didn't know I left it here. That's something. But yeah. So I didn't really make a script for this, so this is all gonna be off the top of my head. And I'd say the best way to talk to people is being, I know this is gonna sound really fucking cheesy or really fudging cheesy, but being yourself is very key, because if you're not yourself when you're around someone, they're just gonna know a fake you, and then they're just truly not gonna know who you are as a person. So you have to be anything, you have to be everything, including yourself. And by everything I mean, you have to be respectful, you have to be kind, you have to be gentle, you can't talk way too much. You can't talk too little, but you have to find a happy medium. Like, you have to talk a little bit, then let them talk, then let them do their talk, and then you get feedback, and it's like this back and forth of just giving each other feedback and stuff like that. So I'm gonna eat that after the show, so I'm just gonna put that right there. Wilson's got a treat there. But yeah. So basically, what I said is like it's a constant feedback of going back and forth to another person. And another thing that I struggle with is don't be afraid to go up to someone and have a regular conversation with them. Go to places like social places like the mall, or if church is a good one. And just don't be afraid to be yourself. It's really hard to say that and actually not be that way, because most people don't enjoy being around themselves. So another way to help you talk to someone is learning how to be like by yourself, and not surrounding yourself with people when you're lonely. Like, when you're lonely, it's okay to go out and find people to talk to, but it's another good thing to sit down and just be by yourself and entertain yourself, and just be able to just sit there and be like, hey, I can entertain myself and I can be by myself, and that helps. Like, when you're independent like that, it helps you extremely when you go up to talk to someone. Um, so yeah, so learning how to be by yourself, learning to how to have the confidence to go up to someone and talk to someone, not talking too much or too little when you're talking to someone, and what else is there? Don't be too pushy. Don't be too laid back. Just be a happy, like, there's mediums with everything in there, and being very respectful, and being very like having very good manners, because you never know if the person isn't gonna like a cuss word. You never know if a person isn't gonna like a certain thing that you say. So you have to, like, kind of have couth, and couth is knowing what to say and what not to say and holding yourself back. So having all of that is very good. And honestly, I made this video pretty short. My how tos are usually straight to the point. They don't. Oh, sorry, Wilson. My um, videos are very straight to the point, and I'm not gonna sit here and make it 12 minutes and add fluff. And I'm doing that right now, kind of, but like, I'm just talking to you guys because I want you guys to know what's up. But yeah. So if you want to hear it again, I'll say it again to you. Learning how to be by yourself, and just like entertaining yourself, and just loving yourself, learning how to love yourself by being by yourself. Like, don't do it to the point where you're by yourself all the time, but because that's very unhealthy for you socially. I've learned that the hard way. I was shut in for a while, but that's besides the point. But once you got that down, probably watch more videos on how to, like, fully, like more help with the steps on, like, how to be confident and how to be respectful. Because I can say how to be respectful is um, giving them the benefit of the doubt, in showing that you care for them and showing that you're there for them. That is showing respect in my book. Which, it could be a little bit more to that than that, but that's all I got for you on that respect. Um, but yeah, so basically, learning how to show respect, learning how to be by yourself so you can love yourself, because you can't love another person the right way if you don't love yourself. Because when you're all up in other someone else's stuff to, like, make you feel happy, you're using that person to make yourself feel happy. and I've done that before, and that's not a good thing to do because you're just using the person for for your needs. And everyone does that, but it can be to the point where you can, once you're more independent and loving yourself and stuff like that, you can love a person in a whole different way, and it shows great respect to just be that way around a person and just be like, I don't need you, but I want you. And that makes a person really enjoy being around you because like they know that you're not depending on them, you want to be around them. And everyone wants to be around someone, and everyone wants people to be around them. Most people need it more than others, or want it more than others is more of a want, but you can do it yourself. You do have the power to sit down and be like, hey, I'm going to take control of my life and I'm going to be better for it. So yeah, so being by yourself, showing respect, showing kindness, showing um, and like a question like on how to be kind. It's like, well, how can I be kind to people when people are mean to me, and how can I be kind when um, people just are assholes and stuff like that. You gotta like let go of everyone judges you, and just remember the fact that like everyone's going through the same exact thing. Everyone's going through the same exact thing. People are going through different like everyone's the same in my book. Just we're different people going through different things. But we're all the same. We're all made up of the same thing. We just look different. We just act different, and that's really all the thing that sets us apart is acting different and looking different. But we are all the same makeup. We're all made of the same thing. You gotta look at it as like this person's not better than me, but I'm not better than that person either. We're all the same. Even Wilson here's the same as me. He's just a baseball. He's just a baseball brother, but he's the same. He's made up of similar things that I'm made up of. Wilson's a good man. He's just sitting here. He doesn't move unless I move him. He just sits there in one place. He rests. He rests, and he just chills. Now I messed up his style of sitting there. Here, I'll let him bow. He'll bow for a little while. He's just big chilling. But getting off topic here. Um, Basically, and I'm not trying to add more fluff. I'm just trying to like go in bigger detail with my stuff because I gave you the general gist. Now I'm getting into the general gist. So I probably should have wrote something down, but either way, there's being by yourself, showing respect, showing kindness. Oh, and you don't give out too much. Like when you're sitting there and you're talking, you start rambling. I'm starting to ramble a little bit too when I go off sidetrack. But like rambling is like you're not getting down to the nitty gritty details. You're getting down to the nitty gritty details. You're not giving the general gist of what's up. When you don't give up with if you don't hurry up and tell your story, people are gonna sit there and get impatient and they're gonna stop listening to you. That's just what happens. So you got to give everything. Well, you don't have to give everything. You have to give the general gist. And if they have questions, then you get into the nitty gritty details. But you don't get too far in depth because they asked you a certain question. Don't be giving off too much, because if you give off too much, like I said, they're gonna start being like, okay, yeah, all right. They're gonna be like, all right, get on with it. And that's just how people are. I'm like that way, and everyone's like that way to an extent. But so learning how to get to the point, saying what you need to say and not everything that you need to say, because like I said, most people don't want to hear every single detail of the story. They just want to hear the general gist of it, and then they kind of like build up on it, and they kind of come up with their like own little story of how things happen. Or some people don't do that, but some people just move on. But yeah, if they have more questions, they'll ask you. If like your story is genuinely interesting, they'll start asking you questions, and with all your nitty gritty details, you can answer said questions. And then knowing when to stop talking, just stop. Just like, what's your feedback? Like you ask them a question and they give you feedback. Because when you're having a conversation, it's not all about you. It's about you and the other person you're talking to. So when you're sitting there and you're talking to someone, just let them do some of the talking. Because like when you let someone do the talking, you can actually learn a lot from like listening to someone talk. You go like, well, I never looked at it that way. Like that's a good way to think about things, and that story is really good, man. You make like you see the person in a different light, but you can't do that if you're sitting there being the one talking all the time. You got to sit down and be like, hey, I'm not the best thing out there in the world. I am just like everybody else, and that's okay. I learned how to be okay with that, and I was always thought that I was like this great person, and I am a great person. Everyone's a great person, but you kind of start losing yourself. And God, she's sitting in a bag, my cat. But basically, you sit down and you just let them do the talking. You let yourself do the talking, and you take turns back and forth. And like I said, you be respectful, you be kind, and you be genuine, and you don't hold yourself back. Like that's part of the like learning to love yourself, because like if you don't love yourself, you're gonna hold yourself back in front of people because you think there's something wrong with you, and there's nothing wrong with anybody really. Like, and if there is something wrong with you, you need to go seek help. Like, if you truly think that there are things that are not right with you, you need to go out and seek help, because you can't. Some people can't. Everybody can't do it by themselves. Everyone needs someone to fall back on, and some people aren't enough. Some people aren't enough, and you have to go out and seek help. I had to go out and seek help. I have bipolar disorder. I have a list of other things, and I had to go out and seek help. And I was around this year thinking that I didn't need to go out and seek help. I thought I was completely alright, and I was very far from it, and everyone else could see it besides me. But that all ties into just learning how to be yourself, learning how to love yourself, learning how to talk to people. It's actually really simple. It's really not as hard as people think. People just think there's just all this general great shit to it, and there's really not. It's really simple. But you just gotta know what you're looking for, you gotta know what to say, and you gotta know what not to say, and you gotta know how to say it. Because someone can make the most messed up joke in the world, but how they present it makes people laugh. Like, I've heard Holocaust jokes, and the Holocaust isn't funny at all. It is very messed up. But people make jokes about it in a certain way, and it makes me laugh because the humor is that messed up. And you can't help but laugh. But I'm just being honest, because I truly think that the Holocaust was really messed up. It really was. Here, Wilson doesn't have to bow anymore. We have to like make him stand upright. He's a little lopsided, but who isn't a little lopsided nowadays? But yeah. So I'm gonna go through it one more time, just in case you want to know. You probably don't want to know. You probably already got through this video, but being by yourself, learning to love yourself, being respectful, kind, and genuine around people, knowing what not to say around a person, and don't do too much talking, don't do too little talking, and that's generally about it. Honestly, there's not in letting the person come back, like letting the person do some of the talking too. Don't do all the talking. So that's like the general gist of everything. And it's honestly, it's not that bad. It's really simple, but you have to put it into practice, and the practice makes perfect. Like, if you start talking to someone and they're not digging you, don't just give up on talking to people. Just give up on talking to that one person because they just don't feel it. Not everyone's gonna feel you. It's sad, but it's true. Not everyone is gonna be your cup of tea. And you're not gonna be everyone else's cup of tea. It's just how it goes. I'm not gonna be everyone's cup of tea on YouTube, but I'm gonna be someone's cup of tea, and they're gonna enjoy watching my videos, and that's all I ask. But yeah, with that, I'm gonna say you guys can have a great day. You guys should have a great day. And if you would like to, but you don't have to, me and Wilson would really appreciate it with a like and a subscribe and a comment in the down below. Just because, why not? But yeah, with that, have a good day, guys. I'm gonna make another video for my vlog, and that's gonna be that. Alright.